Hollywood and stuff, and then I got really good at Hollywood Kung Fu, because I call Hollywood Kung Fu, it's like, oh, you want to fight? Fight me! You know, I got good at Hollywood Kung Fu, and so I was on the Power Ranger movie, and this bird was flying, the Tengu birds, they were flying, right? And I was doing an awesome jump spinning sidekick, totally pulling it, barely tapping them, like I can give you whatever you want. You know what I mean? If I can focus, kick, hardest thing to kick is air. So when you're like, you know, it's the hardest thing to kick. So I was tapping this dude and tapping, and finally he just freaked out. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, he shouldn't have took his bird helmet off, because I was like, what, you're fake? I was all sad. And I was like, are we filming a movie? Are you telling me I'm not real? No. And he threw his bird helmet off, and he's from Australia. He's like, mate, you need to kick me, mate. I can't even feel you. How am I supposed to react? You need to kick me. And of course, I was just calm, and I always got the reality look, and I'm like, okay. That's fine. And he's like, kick me hard. I said, hard. Okay. So when you see that shot in the movie, that dude was knocked out. He was knocked out. He's supposed to land like, you know, and he's all taking it serious. You know, he's probably still like, you know, signing Tengu autograph. And he's like, and then he's supposed to land on the line. Well, he was coming, and that's his fault. And I just went, whoa. If you watch that movie and watch that little card, I love signing that card right in the chin, right? Now you got to remember, he's on a wire, so they're carrying him down on the wire. So they're like, cut. He was like, I mean, the dude wasn't even moving, right? Pull his helmet off, come to, and I just went up to him. I said, was that hard enough? Or he was like, you know, so you got to learn Hollywood Kung Fu, but you know, in my business, if you ask for it, we got to provide the customer service, you know? And so that was pretty much on the movie there in Hollywood Kung Fu. So I think seeing the set was like that most, wow, cool. So, any other questions? How about the black people in the back? Well, not you, David, they're over here. Huh?
What time is it?
Actually, it's morphin' time, that's what you want to hear. Oh, yeah, that's what you want to hear. Yeah, I should do that to people that don't even know who I am. You know? I think that would scare them. I can always do that reality look too. Like, what time is it? And I can be like, it's morphin' time! You're like, what the heck? Good idea, thanks. I'll scare some more people. All right. Yes?
Did they really tell you, did they really think you were cursing?
Yeah, on Disney did. I got this memo under my door. You see, because when they give me stuff, it's always like under my door. It's never like to my face. They just like slide things. So, you know, like the hotel bill, slide it in your door. Especially when you sleep and you wake up, you're like, what the heck? And then you read it and you can't yell at anyone because there's so much money. You're like, what? You know, they just put it in your door. I was sitting there one day in my room and I just saw this little piece of paper come in. So, you know, of course I go down and look and, you know, look at who is that? I should just open the door, but I like doing it the hard way, right? And so I got the deal memo, or the memo, and it was like, hey, you know, we got to tell you, stop cursing on the show and saying the S word, because I'll go, ah, shit, ah, shit. So they were like freaking out. You can't cuss, you know. So you know what I did the first day back? I was like, ah, shit, and then anyway. But yeah, I did get that memo. We fixed it a couple days later after a lot of key eyes. Random guys. But yeah, that was pretty much that. You still don't have questions in the back? How about you in the red shirt? You know? What's your name? Jack? You don't have any questions? You know where you're at? Yes? That was, I don't know. Mom's like, you better say yes, because I was the one that was a fan, not you. I get that. People come into the school and they're like, hey, can you take a picture? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. And then they're like, no, forget, I'm out of the way. So little kids, take a picture with us. You know, we were your biggest fans, little kids. You know, after all. I do want to say that though. Somebody in the airplane was like, is there a doctor here? Bam, do all this work and be like, well, I'm not a doctor, but I do play one on TV. I always want to say that, but never did. Dave, you got any questions, man? He's all quiet. He just wants to punch people. Yes.
How'd you end up in Houston?
It's all her fault. Tammy, how'd I end up in Houston? Met her out here a long time ago, and you know, she moved to California. California has these California rates, you know what I mean? Everything's this and that. So when I came to buy my house here, I was looking around and like, let's buy this house. And then I bought her house and she cried because she didn't like that house. And then bought her another house. And then I was looking around thinking, man, I don't know. This house is like MTV Crib style. I just, you know, I'm moving, I'm getting schools open. I don't want to be stressed out. And it was like way cheaper than my California house. It's tract home. You know what I mean? So came out here, opened gyms, met a guy, started the G's in tap, met people, and it just kind of, I think your plan for life is already set. I know there's going to be movie deals. I'm talking to a bunch of people now, a bunch of companies now, thanks to you guys on Facebook. You guys will bug the heck out of someone. I like that. I'll just say, hey, make this happen. And you guys, the fans, will make things happen. Fans make fights happen. Fans make movies happen. So that's, I just appreciate all your guys because, working together, I talked to Saban, a few just little things, nothing, promising right now, but I'm not opposed to not doing anything because I have a lot of older fans that can actually express themselves and talk now, and instead of, you can actually, parents will listen to you now besides you're sick. Shh, 6 years old, be quiet. I think the strangest thing for me was when the show was on, I don't think parents really knew what was going on. Like, I don't think parents know the kind of video games kids are playing nowadays, I go to like DARE, drug abuse resistant educational things, and talk about drugs, and these kids are saying stuff that I don't even know where they're getting it from. I'm selling this, and I got this house, and I didn't pay for this and pay for that. And then I'm like, well, where are you learning all that? Because it's like stumping. It's like, oh, Mafia or God, whatever the games are nowadays. So a lot of the parents didn't really know what the Power Rangers were. So I was someplace, I don't know, a post office or something like that. And kids just generally stare at me because I'm a kids person. I love kids.